Welcome to the ORU Sports Report. I'm Scott Higgins. Well, the Golden Eagle men's and women's basketball seasons are up and running with some tough competition out of the chute. The women battled a pair of top 10 teams. We'll check out the highlights of the Baylor game. Meanwhile, the men tried to hang on to the PSO Mayor's Cup for the second straight year. And speaking of the PSO Mayor's Cup, the ladies will host Tulsa Friday night. We'll have a preview of that big game coming up later on the ORU Sports Report.
Make no little plans here. It's a statement of people who think big. People who are easily frustrated with the status quo. People who want to change the world. Whatever it is that you're called to accomplish, know this. ORU is a place that inspires greatness. It's about the power of an idea, and it's about the power of change. So the only question is, what's your plan?
Well, there's no bigger game than the PSO Mayor's Cup. This season, ORU hosted the 50th game in the series and tried to keep the cup at home. Let's check out the highlights. Saturday night, ORU versus Tulsa in the Mabee Center. And early on, the Tulsa native Corey Bilberry gets us going as he's going to drive for the jumper. Corey had 18 points in front of the home folks, 9-8 ORU. Then Adrian Weber, the senior, going to launch for not one, not two, but three. He had 10 points, ORU by 4. Then Donnell Henderson gets involved. He drives inside for the tough score, 22-14 Golden Eagles. The lead changed hands back and forth. There's Bilberry again driving hard, 26-14 ORU. And then Obi Emegano had 26 points, Summit League Player of the Week for that kind of stuff. He hit the three. ORU, though, up by only a little at the half. Second half, Albert Owens comes in, and not many, but some very valuable points. Hits that shot. It's 37-36, ORU with the lead. Then Bobby Word launches from the corner. He had 14 points. Golden Eagles up by 7. Then back to Megano. He is the leader and showed it with that three. ORU led by 10. Back to Word. The three's falling in the second half. ORU rolling at this point. And then Bilberry drives for the crowning layup. ORU wins it 77-68. Golden Eagles with 10 assists and only 8 turnovers. Good game for them. Well, folks, we also know the Golden Eagles had plenty of reason to celebrate the win, a big homecoming crowd on hand, and a great springboard for the rest of the season. Well, after the game, head coach Scott Sutton talked to the troops.
Proud of you. It's a great win for a lot of different reasons. We talked about that this week. We don't need to talk about it again. You don't need to talk about that in the press conference. That was a big win for a lot of people. Now, the challenge is, hey, let's celebrate, right? Yes, let's enjoy this. But when we come back Monday, let's get better. Yes, we got a chance Wednesday to go to Missouri and beat them. Yes, sir. Then we got a chance to go to Oregon State and beat them. Yes, sir. All right? I told some of you didn't get as many minutes, that's all right. Hey, we're going to need you. Keep your heads up. Keep your heads up. Keep working. Your time will come. All right? Great job. Yes.
Who got next? It's ORU against Oregon State on Friday the 21st, followed by a series of games in Las Vegas, led off by Louisiana Lafayette. That is Tuesday the 25th. Golden Eagles will be gone a while as Coach Sutton and the guys traveling to Missouri for the start of a 15-game road trip, or 15-day road trip. But before he left, we had the chance to catch up on the Mayor's Cup win and the upcoming schedule. Scott, a couple days removed from the game now. Does it still feel just as good to win that Mayor's Cup 2 in a row?
Yeah, a great win. Obviously, that our guys battled, and it's always an exciting game. It's a great way, especially this year with homecoming. A lot of alumni back, and that was a really good atmosphere. And I'm really proud of our guys. I didn't think we played great basketball, especially offensively. Didn't shoot the ball well, but we made enough shots and key shots. Then we got to the free throw line a bunch, and Obi. I think we all were maybe putting a little bit too much into, is Obi back?
Yes.
I think he's back.
You know, it was so nice to see after the tough practices, the guys grueling all week, the joy in their faces in that locker room.
Well, I mean, that's why you play the game. That's what's great about sports. And I wish our fans and I talked to Jeff Haxton. It's too bad Jeff can never be in those locker room celebrations because he's out on the radio. But it's a lot of fun, and it shows how big of a game that was. And You know, I told our guys all week, I tell them every year this, that the Tulsa game's bigger than just us. It's about our alumni, our students, faculty, and our university. And they went out and really, I thought, played with that attitude. And for the second straight year, I thought we really competed and found a way to win.
Now, you're getting a lot of praise. I know you don't like to accept it, but people are saying what a great move to go to that zone, which the Sutton family is not known for, but boy, it worked. Yeah,
you know, that was you know, one of their weaknesses, to be honest, is Tulsa's perimeter shooting, and we kind of went to it because we got in foul trouble, and also because they're not a great, you know, shooting team, and big guys kept picking up fouls. I think Brandon was in foul trouble, Janelle, Drew was, so we went to it, and it worked. I think they hit their first three. We didn't match up very well out of it, and then after that, I don't think they hit another three the rest of the night, and you know, one of the weaknesses of a zone is rebounding. We didn't do a great job rebounding out of it, but we got enough stops, and you know, fortunately they missed some shots, and you know, it could have been a wider margin, but I don't care. Anytime you beat Tulsa, you have to take it.
I mean, mentally, what kind of springboard is that to get the guys feeling good about themselves?
I think it's a great confidence boost. This was a team that will win a bunch of games, as Tulsa is, and you know, they won 11 of their last 12 games last year, went to the NCAA tournament. For us to beat them like we did, it should give our guys a great deal of confidence. Now we go on the road for a couple of games that you have a chance to win. They're against bigger programs, you know, top 5 conference programs, Missouri and Oregon State, but both of them have new coaches. Both of them are going through a transition period, and you know, if we play with the type of effort and confidence that we did Saturday night, we'll have a chance to win those games.
And take extra socks, because you guys are going to be gone a long time. Next home game's December 7th, but you're on the road for darn near 2 weeks.
15 days, I think, and I wish I could blame somebody, but it was, I guess I had the final say of that. But yeah, I mean, it'll be, like I said, it'll be a great opportunity for our guys to go on the road, get tested, get to go to Vegas, play a couple of really good mid-major teams in Louisiana Lafayette and Wisconsin, Milwaukee, and end the trip going to Weber State, which will be an awfully difficult game, but that's part of the bracket buster return game. So when we get back here in a few weeks, we'll know a lot more about this team. Hopefully we'll have a few more wins under our belt.
Good luck to you on the road.
Thanks, Scott.
The ORU women have had some tough sledding to start the season. We'll catch up with the ladies and preview their version of the PSO Mayor's Cup after this short timeout. The ORU women have played a murderer's row schedule to start the season. Monday night in Knoxville, Tennessee, the Tennessee Volunteers knocked off the Golden Eagles 91-39. Vicky McIntyre led the way with 10 points and 13 rebounds. But the women started the season last Friday night at Baylor. Let's check out what happened in Waco. More toughness. Jordan Doyle, the frosh early on, can hit the jumper. That's 2 of her 14, but it's 15-4 Baylor. Later on, Vicky McIntyre finished with 10 points, 17 boards, a double-double against Baylor. Not bad. 24-10 Bears. Then Faith Ahim, another freshman from right here at Memorial High School. She's going to hit the bucket. It's 34-16 Baylor. Then back to Doyle. Not just good from the inside, but Jordan could light it up from outside. This time she's going to hit the 3. But still, the Bears led 34-19 as she rips it right there. Down the stretch we come in the first half. That other Jordan, this is Jordan Gilbert. And Jordan's going to score from the top of the key. It's 38-23 off the window for the Bears. Let's move to the second half now. Unfortunately for ORU, a lot of the same stuff. And who could blame them? Baylor is really good. A top 10 program is Denny Bala, the freshman from 3, 51-28 Baylor. And then Atoy Jackson, yet another returning starter. She lets her rip as well. ORU trying to stay close, but it was just a tough deal all the way. Doyle again for 3, and it's 66-36 Baylor. And unfortunately, it got a little tougher from there as McIntyre down low scores, but Baylor rolls in this one. Final score 101-60. And on the road, here we go. Back home now after being on the road. Tulsa, the PSO Mayor's Cup, Friday night the 21st at 7 o'clock. That one's at the Mabee Center. And then Monday, a couple days later, still back at the Mabee Center for a tough Missouri State team. Well, next up for the Golden Eagles is the PSO Mayor's Cup at the Mabee Center, 7 o'clock Friday night. Golden Eagles used to own this series, but lately Tulsa has evened things up. Last year, TU won at the Reynolds Center, and as we tape this show, the ladies are still on their way back from Tennessee, but before they left, assistant coach Roy Samuel shared some thoughts about the big game Friday. Royce, this is year number 3 for you for the PSO Mayor's Cup. How big a deal is this to the staff and the team?
Well, it's a big deal to Tulsa and a big deal to the area. You know, we don't recruit the same kids ordinarily. And for us, it's just a game, you know, that you like to play as your next door neighbor, so you enjoy playing that game. It's like beating up on your brother a little bit, or your sister in our case. So, yeah, it's a great game.
You know, there are a lot of these kids on both teams that went to high school together, played in Oklahoma, and now they're against each other in college. That's an interesting dynamic.
Yes, it is. A lot of them know each other. A lot of them are AAU teammates. A lot of them were high school teammates. So it's an interesting dynamic, but it's a fun game. It's like I said before, like playing your next door neighbor, so you always enjoy it. They have a great team. Ashley Clark, Mariah Turner, great returners coming back. And we're going to be hard pressed. So we have to do a good job in this game.
Last couple of years, you all have split the series. TU took it last year. So what can we expect game-wise this year?
Well, this year, our focus is Vicki McIntyre. We're going to go inside to her, and she's going to go to work, and we're going to get good play out of her. And our expectations is you always want to defend your living room floor, as they say.
Right.
So you always want to play well at home, and that's what we're going to do. And you know, like I said before, a great team coming in, but we're going to do all we can to establish ourselves in the beginning and win the ball game.
Now, Vicki is new to the PSO Mayor's Cup, but she's certainly seen some big games in her career at Florida and Oklahoma State. So in the locker room, she could be a stabilizing factor here.
Absolutely, absolutely. She is kind of a guiding force to our young group around her. She really talks a lot in the locker room. She was a leader from day one. She gives us a lot in the locker room and off the floor. So she's just she's like a leader on the floor, a coach on the floor for us. So she does a really good job of doing that for our players.
Of course, you all have played at Baylor now, played at Tennessee. So is this just like a walk in the park, pressure-wise?
I don't know about walk in the park. It's a great team, but you know, the competition is still there. Their desire to beat us by a lot is still there. So we have to come out prepared to play. It's just another game on the road to going to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It's just one of the measuring sticks that we have during our season.
How do you think our freshmen, we have 5 freshmen, all state players, all from Oklahoma, so they've experienced big games in Oklahoma. They've probably followed this series all along. What do you do to prepare them for this type of game?
Well, I think you never are prepared totally.
Sure.
You can talk about it, you can explain it, you can say, you know, oh, well, this is a big game for us in Tulsa. But until you play it, you just don't know. And I think the experience of the game makes us tougher in March.
It's the first home game of the year, regular season for ORU. Is that a good place on the schedule for this game?
Absolutely,
Yeah?
absolutely. We get to open up at home. We get to open up with a great opponent. It's going to be a lot of people in the stands, a lot of Oklahomans in the stands. So we're going to have a great time, and it's going to be a great atmosphere for us to play in.
All right. If I didn't do this, I wouldn't be doing my job. Give me a prediction.
We're going to win by 10.
You'll win by 10. We'll take it.
By 10.
Royce, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, the Golden Eagles will have youth on their side Friday night. A group of high-profile freshmen will be counted on for big minutes and lots of points. ORU women's basketball has its own version of the Fab Five. Freshmen Esther Adumo, Jason Beard, Jordan Doyle, Jordan Gilbert, and Faith Ahim were all selected to the 2014 Oklahoma All-State game. Even though it wasn't necessarily a group decision to attend ORU, it helped that the players already knew each other.
It was as a group, but it was mostly for me because I'm a teenage mother, and I was deciding whether to go farther away from my daughter or should I be here near her? And I chose here, and also I know a lot of the All-Staters and they go here. So.
The 5 is down to 4 now that Beard is out for the season with a knee injury. And so far, the two Jordans have picked up the most significant playing time. Expectations remain high for all of the remaining 4, and that's okay with them.
Yeah, it's fair as long as we just stay focused with each other, spend more time on the court, work on everything that we need to work on. We can like really shock this place, like shock everyone who's doubting us, because we are really talented. Like all of us, we are quick, we are tall, we have length. So it's gonna be amazing with these girls and everyone else.
I think it's fair to have those expectations put upon them. I was actually very surprised when I first came here. I'd never seen any of them play, and we first come to open gym, and I was like, holy cow. Really? There is some athleticism, there is length, there's speed, and there's just an overall intelligence about their play that I just really wasn't expecting. And I think it's fair to put that kind of expectation on them, and we're going to need them to step up this year. We need, we don't have a point guard without Jordan Doyle, and she's going to need to step up, and she's going to be an integral part of what we do this year.
The question now is chemistry. The returning players say they're excited to play with the Fab Five, but that the freshmen won't be handed anything. They'll have to earn their playing time. Fair enough. Meanwhile, the young guns are happy to blend in and help this team win more than last year's 9 games.
I think so. They're all easy to talk to, easy to get along with. They're very welcoming. Like they just bring us in to their family since we're teammates now. So
special class, great class. They get along, no ego problems there. They love each other. I think they've loved each other since they all found out they were coming here. So I think they bring an energy and just an excited spirit to learn that has kind of helped our seniors.
Once again, the PSO Mayor's Cup women's game against Tulsa this Friday night, 7 o'clock at the Mabee Center. You can get your tickets by calling 495-6000 or logging on to oruathletics.com. Well, Danielle Stoltz will be on board after the break to wrap us up.
Because education is important to us, even while raising a family. Because with my busy schedule, I need to take classes on my time.
ORU Online is for me because I can further my education on my coffee break.
Hello, my name is Danielle Stoltz, and I'm the Director of University Communications here at ORU. The ORU basketball season is off to a great start, and so is this school year. This month, we welcomed about 400 prospective students to campus for our fall college weekend. ORU hosted students from around the globe, November 6th through the 8th. The event takes place twice a year and gives high school students and college transfers a sneak peek into what life at ORU is all about. During college weekend, students get the chance to visit classes, stay in the dorms, get to know the professors, and gather information about admissions and financial aid. The next event is March 5th through the 7th. Visit oru.edu for more information. This year, Oral Roberts University has students from 84 different countries. With a growing emphasis to reach students in even more countries around the world, we have established the International Center. Last week, we celebrated the opening of the center with a dedication event. President William M. Wilson, First Lady of the University Lisa Wilson, and a number of alumni and friends were present for the event. The new International Center will help these international students acclimate to campus, share information about global cultures with the student body, and provide global learning opportunities abroad. This will serve as a gathering place for international students and is already proven to be a great resource. With us today is David Tumasime. He's a senior theology major from Uganda. Thanks so much for being with us today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, first of all, I've heard that you have an incredible story about how you came to ORU. Can you tell us a little bit about that journey?
Yes. I was born in Uganda. I was born mute. I was stuttering really bad. And then we used to watch a lot of R. Roberts videos. And my dad had a lot of those. And so that's how I got to know about ORU, and then later on in the years, ORU missions came to my hometown, and so I got to have a taste of ORU right at my own house because they lived with us for the whole week.
Wow. So you learned about ORU through a missions team coming to where you lived.
Yes.
That's amazing. And so you said you were born mute, is that right?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that testimony.
Well, I was a big stutter. I couldn't pronounce anything to save my life. And so the schools I went to, I didn't bother read. I didn't bother do anything. I just loved math because I didn't have to write or read anything. And so I was a worship leader at my church. I was one of the musicians. And pastors came and everybody was trying to get me healed. And I think that's one of the reasons that we used to watch a lot of healing movies. And so, but I didn't until I was about 10 or 12. I started to be able to pronounce words miraculously, one on my birthday in the morning. And so my mom was so excited that I could speak, but I was so behind in my education, didn't do so well in school. So I didn't think I could achieve anything big in life because I was so behind, especially with my age and experience.
So with that setback, how did you decide that you wanted to go to a university?
Well, I wanted to go to a university all along, but I didn't want to do ministry. I hated ministry because for 10 years, nothing was happening. I thought I wanted to be a doctor, you know, anybody who made money and had a life. So that's what I wanted. But when I saw ORU students who were, some of them were engineers, some of them were business, in business, and others were in other field, nursing, but they were also still doing missions. That posed a question in my mind on what areas I could do. And so, but I only thought I would be able to do that if I came to ORU. And so my older brother came ahead of me. And then I didn't think about coming to ORU at all because I thought with him it was a miracle. So it would have to be a miracle for me too. So ORU wasn't, I loved it, but I didn't think it was in the possibilities. I didn't think I could hit the jackpot twice in my family. So I limited God's ability by thinking like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So tell me, how did you get to Uganda to Tulsa, Oklahoma?
Well, it was, I remember it was in 2008. And so my mom said, you know what, David, we're going to go get a visa. And I said, a visa to where? And then they said, a pastor from the United States sent you money for a visa. And they want you to go and train at their worship team for 2 months, and then they will fly you back. And then I said, okay, I had already finished college there. I was doing aviation. Okay. And so everybody was excited for me, my pastors, my church, everybody was like, all right, it's time for you to go. So I came to that church, and that church was in Texas. So I served there for 2 months, 2 months turned into 6 months, 6 months turned into a year. Because I had that love for science, I went to a community college there. And then and this church was New Beginnings International Church. So that's why I was serving as a music minister. And then one morning I had finished everything. I had finished my nursing classes, and I graduated there. And then the question still popped up in my mind again of what next? Do I go back home? The ORU thing was still in my mind. I still met a lot of ORU students in Texas. And so one morning, I applied to all other colleges before ORU, and then only ORU responded. So I told my pastor I was coming to ORU. That was like my answer. He's like, how are you going to make it? But then I decided, you know what? The worst that could happen is me driving back to Texas. So the church raised up some few funds for me. I drove to Tulsa. I came to ORU with an acceptance, just an acceptance letter. I didn't know what else because I thought I was accepted. And so when I got to ORU, I went to the international students office. And to my amusement, they told me, that's just the beginning.
Wow.
Yes.
That is so great. And I love to hear that testimony of how you were just like, I'm just going to show up. I'm going to make this happen. And so that's wonderful that God was able to do that through your life. And now you're here and you're studying theology, and you'll be graduating in May, correct?
Yes, I may have one more, another semester for the fall, but
okay.
Yes.
Well, great. Well, then I'm so glad to know that you're here, and we're so glad that you were able to join us today. If you want more information about what's going on at ORU, we would love for you to stop by our campus. We'd love for you to come and visit and see all the great things that God's doing here at ORU. Visit us at oru.edu. Thank you so much for joining us this week, and we will see you next week.